Hello everyone. I hope you all are fine. As you know, every week we organize webinars on a new topic from Busy, which will increase your knowledge of Busy accounting software. Today's topic is Busy e-waybill and e-invoice solution. So today we will learn that Busy is the perfect solution to generate e-waybill and e-invoice from Busy. Now we are starting the webinar, and if you have any doubts and questions, note them down and ask at the end of the session. I will answer all your questions on today's topic. So now we are starting this webinar. So please watch this session carefully. Let us start the topic. So topic name is Busy e-waybill and e-invoice solution. So first we will see the session objectives. First is introduction of this topic. Second is key features and benefits in Busy. So we will see the features and benefit if you are using a Busy accounting software to generate e-waybill and e-invoice. Third is e-waybill and e-invoice integration in Busy. This is the third point, means the integration part of Busy, how to configure, how to which steps you have to follow. Fourth is how to generate e-waybill and e-invoice in bulk. And the last is Q&A session. So in the Q&A session, you can ask your queries. I will answer. Now, friends, first we will see the introduction part. So introduction, e-waybill and e-invoice. So first of all, what is e-waybill? So e-waybill is a electronic document for goods movement generated through the e-waybill portal. For central transaction exceeding 50,000 INR, B2B, B2C transactions, e-waybill is mandatory. State-specific rules apply for local transaction. Example, in Delhi, its limit is 1 lakh for B2B transactions. So means in case of central transaction, if you are transporting the material from one location to another location and the bill amount is more than 50,000, then you have to generate e-way bill. This is compulsory as per the government rule. And in case of local transaction, the limit is vary. It's depend on state rules. So in case of Delhi, the limit is more than 1 lakh. So if invoice is more than 1 lakh is a B2B invoice, then this is compulsory. You have to generate e-way bill, and then you can, after generating the e-way bill, you can transport your material. So this is the conditions how to generate uh, e-way bill. I will show you in the practical demo. Next is e-invoice. E-invoice is a system where invoice except B2C are electronic uploaded, authenticated, and assigned a unique invoice reference number by the Invoice Registration Portal (IRP). IRN digital signatures and QR code added, and the information is seamlessly transferred to the GST and e-waybill portal in real time, eliminating manual data entry for GSTR1 and e-waybill generation. So means if the sales turnover, if your sales turnover is more than 5 crore, then you have to upload your B2B invoice on the e-invoice portal. This is compulsory. Sales turnover limit may be vary in future, because when e-invoice started, then limit was 500 crores. But now, after 1st August 2023, this limit is 5 crore. So if your turnover is more than 5 crore, then you are eligible to generate e-invoice of your B2B invoice. This is compulsory. So you have to upload your B2B sales invoice on the portal, and you have to generate e-invoice of your sales invoice. So uh, through Busy accounting software, e-waybill and e-invoice generation is very simple and easy. Only you have to configure some steps, some features, some steps, some fields you have to configure only one time. And after the configuration, when you will create the sales invoice from Busy accounting software, your e-waybill and e-invoice you can generate easily directly from the Busy accounting software. Next, let's see key features and benefits in Busy. So if you are using Busy software, so what benefits you get? Let's see. First is no need to go to portal to generate e-waybill and e-invoice. So this is the first point. This is the first benefit. No need to go on GST portal to generate e-waybill and e-invoice because Busy can directly generate your e-waybill and e-invoice from your voucher. So when you create the transaction of sales invoice, you can directly upload your e-invoice and e-waybill from Busy accounting software and you can directly generate. No need to go on GST portal. And next thing is if you want to cancel e-waybill and e-invoice, suppose transaction is wrong or you want to modify the transaction, you want to cancel the transactions, so you can cancel e-waybill and e-invoice directly from Busy. No need to go on GST portal for cancellation also. Second point is dual GSP configuration, Webtel and Pinnacle. So we have two GSPs, Webtel and Pinnacle. So we can easily generate e-waybill and e-invoice. Suppose a problem coming in one GSP. So Busy will generate e-waybill and e-invoice through another GSP. So we have two GSP. So your work will not stop. You continuously generate e-waybill and e-invoice from Busy software. Next is error checking tool. Number three is error checking tools. So this is the third benefit you get when you generate e-waybill and e-invoice from Busy. On the last moment, you can check the errors and the mistakes. Means if you did any mistake in the transaction, like your GST number is wrong, or your HSN is skipped, or any mistake you did in the transaction, so Busy will show you the errors. Busy will show you the mistake, so you can rectify the error. You can correct your transaction. Then you will generate e-invoice or e-waybill from Busy. Number three, this error checking tool. Number four is e-waybill number and IRN number will be update automatically. So after generated e-waybill and e-invoice from Busy software, the reference number of the portal will be update in the transaction in Busy automatically. So no need to specify the IRN number or e-waybill number manually. This will automatically update in the transaction in Busy. So this is the fourth benefit. Next is e-waybill and e-invoice printing within Busy. So after generating e-waybill and e-invoice from Busy software, you can take print out directly from the Busy. No need to go on GST portal. You can directly upload, and after uploading, you can after generating or after uploading e-waybill or e-invoice, you can directly print from Busy software. So this is the fifth benefit. Next benefit is e-invoice integrated with e-waybill combined. Suppose you are generating e-invoice and e-waybill of the same transaction, then you can generate combined and take printout on a single page. So you can combinedly generate uh, e-waybill and e-invoice, and you can take the printout in single page. This is the sixth benefit. Next is bulk mode option. So if you want to generate e-waybill and e-invoice in bulk, that is also possible. Suppose you are continuously creating invoice from Busy, and at the end of the day, you want to generate all the e-invoice and all the pending e-invoice and e-waybill on a single enter. You can generate easily through bulk mode option. On a single enter, you can generate multiple e-invoice and multiple e-waybill. So this option is also available in Busy software. Next benefit is manage multiple branches. So if you have multiple branches and e-invoice and e-waybill is applicable in all the branches. Suppose, as you know, every branch's GST number is different. In Busy, you can manage multiple branches in a single company. You can specify multiple GST in a single company and generate e-invoice and e-waybill of all the branches from single company. No need to create multiple companies for branches. So you can manage multiple branches in a single company and you can generate e-waybill and e-invoice of multiple branches directly. Next is user level control. So if you want to remove the rights of for generation e-waybill and e-invoice in sub-user, that is also possible. You can remove the rights. After removing the rights, only super user can generate e-waybill and e-invoice from Busy. And the last benefit is e-waybill and e-invoice audit report. This is very important. In Busy, we have audit report for e-way bill and e-invoice. This is very useful report. Through this report, you can check the pending e-way bill and e-invoice. Let me give an example for this. Suppose in a day, you have entered multiple transaction, B2B or B2C both, and suppose transaction is eligible for e-invoice and e-way bill, but you not generated at the time of transaction. So you can check the audit report, and after see the all the pendings e-way bill and e-invoice, you can see these are the pendings e-way bill, these are the pending e-invoice of today's transaction. So after checking these, you can generate in bulk. So this option is also available. So this is very important report, e-way bill and e-invoice audit report. Next is e-way bill and e-invoice integration in Busy. So some steps you have to perform for configuration in Busy. So this is one time configuration. Let us see what are the configuration parts. So first is GST configuration, configure GSPs. So you have to enable this feature, e-way bill and e-invoice in GST configuration. This is the first step. Second is company detail address. So you have to specify the company address detail in company. After that, you have to specify the correct party details like address, GST, station, and PIN code. These all details you have to fill properly in party account. After that, go to Material Center Master and specify correct address from place, PIN code, from state. These details you have to fill properly. Unit details, you have to go to Unit Master and specify and select UQC code. So this code will show you in the drop down list. You can select, go to Item Master after that, and specify correct GST rate and HSN code. Transported detail. So transportal GST number you have to specify. And the last is port address detail for e-way bill. So in case of export import supply, you have to specify port, correct address and port code. So these information, these detail you have to specify properly in one time. And after the configuration, after the specifying all the details, you can generate e-way bill and invoice. Very simple. Okay, steps are very simple. Next, let us see the practical demo how to configure the e-way bill and invoice configuration. Let me show you. So this is my company. Let me open again. This is my company, and username password is A and A. Company is opening. See, the first step is you have to, if you want to enable e-way bill and e-invoice in Busy software in your company, then you have to perform this step. So I'll show you from step one. Please watch carefully. So what steps you have to follow if you want to generate e-way bill and e-invoice from Busy accounting software. Now, step one is first open company. After that, go to configuration, go to features option and GST VAT. Click on this button, GST VAT. See, options are available in the GST configuration, e-way bill required and e-invoice required. These two options you have to enable. So you have to specify Y like this. After specifying Y, the configure button appears. You have to click on this button and see the configuration window will open. And here you have to specify some details like, see, this is for e-way bill configuration. So you have to specify from place, your PIN code, your central transactions limit, your local transaction limit. And if you want to remove, restrict the right from the sub user, you can enable these options. And for e-way bill printing detail or summary, you can select this. So these are the configuration part of e-way bill configuration. After that, enable e-invoice required. This option you have to enable and just click on configure, and here you have to specify from place and PIN code. And if you want to restrict the right, you can enable these options. Just click on OK. After that, second is GSP configuration. So after enabling e-way bill and invoice required option, you have to click on GSP configuration. This is the button, GSP configuration. Just click on this, and after clicking on this option, you have to specify GSP's username and password here. So for Webtel, for Pinnacle, you have to specify GSP's user ID and password. So one question might be coming in your mind. So what is the GSP username and password? So if you want to generate user ID and password on GSP, then you have to go to E-Invoice or E-Waybill portal, and you have to access API and create your user ID and password. So for steps, you can see these are the steps. See, this is E-Invoice portal. Just open it, and after this, you have to follow these steps and create user ID and password for E-Invoice and E-Waybill for Pinnacle and Webtel GSPs. And the same user ID and password you have to specify in Busy. For Webtel, these options. For Pinnacle, these options. So after specifying the GSP's ID, user ID and password, save this configuration. This is step one. After that, step two is go to company. Second option is edit company. Enter on this, and you have to specify company address. See, so company address you have to fill properly. Save this. Next, go to administration, enter on masters, and here go to accounts, open party account. This is my sundry data, this is my party, and you have to specify address of party account and GST number and station and pin code. These details you have to specify properly in party's account. Next, go to item master, and you have to specify in the item master GST rate and HSN code. These details you have to fill properly. Next is go to a unit master, and here you have to select UQC code. So drop down list will open. You have to select UQC code for GST returns, e-way bill, and invoice. Okay, after that, save this. Next is the transporter. So when you creating party account, this is the transporter option. Press F3 key, and here you have to create the transporter. So you have to specify the transporter name, and in transporter ID you have to specify GST number of the transporter. So these details you have to specify properly one time, and after that you can generate e-invoice and e-way bill directly from Busy Software. Next, go to configuration, voucher series configuration, sales, select your series, just click on voucher configuration, and here you have to enable this option. First option is input transport detail. This option you have to enable. Next, generate e-way bill after saving and generate e-invoice after saving. These two options also you have to enable. So total three options you have to enable: input transport detail, generate e-way bill after saving, and generate e-invoice after saving. These three options you have to enable in voucher series configuration. After that, your configuration part is completed. Now you can generate e-invoice and e-way bill from Busy Software. Let me show you. So go to sales, add, and create the transaction. This is my party, Busy Infotech Private Limited. And one option is, material center. Yeah. So in the material center, you have to specify from place, from state, and pin code. So these details you have to specify in material center also. Address, from place, from state, and pin code. If you have enabled material center, then you have to specify this information in material center master also. Now I'm creating sales invoice. So item, select the item, specify the quantity, apply the tax. F4, apply the tax. Press F2, save this transaction. Now at the time of saving, this window will show you. The input transport detail window will show you. Here you have to select first transporter. So this is my transporter. Next, GRN number. So good receipt number you can specify here. Next, GR date, good receipt date, vehicle number. So this is the vehicle number. So vehicle number you have to specify, and if your station, your place, pin code you have to specify. These detail will pick automatically from the uh, party master or company. Enter. Now see, e-way bill required or e-invoice required. These two options you have to enable if you want to generate of e-invoice and e-way bill of this transaction. Then you have to enable this e-invoice and e-way bill. Now enter and press F2, save the transaction. After that, this prompt will show you, do you want to generate e-way bill? Just click on yes and select automatic. Your e-way bill will generate. Okay, now see, check possible error. So just click on this option. Now see, this is the window for error checking tool. Here you can see, here you can check the error. If you any mistake, if you did any mistake in the transaction, then in this report, mistake will show you. Please correct this detail. After that, you can generate. So now your error checking tool is inputted. This report is empty, means no mistake in this transaction. After that, just click on view and generate e-way bill. Click on this option. This is the last window. Check the details and generate. Now your e-way bill generated. Just okay and print. It's taking some 10 seconds time. Let me show you the printout. Let me show you the printout. This is the e-way bill printout. See. So after generating e-invoice or e-way bill, this is the printout. This is the e-way bill printout. See, you can take printout of this page. This is e-way bill. You can directly print. Next, go to transaction again. See, the second prompt is, do you want to generate e-invoice? Just click on yes, select automatic option and click on OK. Check error, no error. Okay, go back and just click on view and generate e-invoice. This is the last window. You can see the details. Generate e-invoice. See, your e-invoice is generated successfully. Okay. Do you want to print? Yes. So your e-invoice is generated successfully. And let me show you the printout. So this is the printout of e-invoice. See, so you can print e-way bill and invoice like this. These are the steps you have to follow. Next, bulk e-way bill and e-invoice generation in Busy. So the bulk option is also available in Busy Software if you want to generate e-way bill and e-invoice in bulk. So that is also possible. Let me show you in Busy Software. So see, you have to just go on transaction, and the last option is GST miscellaneous utility. Here you have to enter on this option. Now see, the first option is e-way bill and e-invoice management. Enter on this. Now see, generate print e-way bill and generate print e-invoice. These two options. So if you want to generate e-way bill in bulk, then you have to go in this option, automatic. Here list will show you. Let me enter some transaction. So I will show you in bulk. This is the first transaction. No, I'm not generating e-way bill, not generating e-invoice. Transaction is saved, but I'm not generated e-invoice and e-way bill. Next transaction is transporter detail and vehicle number, and just click on no. I'm not generated invoice and e-way bill. Now we have two transactions. Let me show you how to generate in bulk. So just go to GST miscellaneous utility. First option is e-way bill and e-invoice management. Enter on the first option. If you want to generate e-way bill, generate print e-way bill. Enter on this automatic and see load your data. So these are the transactions. See, so all the transaction is showing, and just you have to select the just after you have to tick the transaction, and after that check e-way bill details and generate button is showing in uh, see generate e-way bill button is showing in the bottom and proceed with automatic. Now your e-way bill generated. See total number of invoice 2, total e-way bill generated 2. So your all e-way bill generated successfully. Now see e-way bill number and e-way bill date is updated automatically in the transaction. Let me show you. See e-way bill number and e-invoice, sorry, e-way bill date. These all dated updated automatically in the transaction. Next, suppose you want to generate e-invoice in bulk. So the second option is generate print e-invoice. Enter on this option. Select, click on automatic. Load the data. Now we have two transactions. We have two pending transaction which is eligible for e-invoice, but we have not generated. So we have to select the transaction first. After that, click on generate e-invoice and proceed with automatic e-invoice generation. Now see total number of invoice 2, total e-invoice generated 2. So e-invoice generated successfully of these transactions. Now see e-invoice acknowledgement number and date updated. Let me show you. So this is the transaction and see IRN number, e-invoice acknowledgement number, e-way bill number, e-way bill date, acknowledgement, e-invoice acknowledgement date. So these all the details updated successfully and e-invoice generated successfully. See, if you want to take printout, you can take printout also. Let me show you. So see, suppose you want to take printout, just click on this option and print e-invoice. So your invoice will print. So you can print out also. See, this is the invoice printout. Same as you can take printout of e-way bill also. If you want to generate combined e-way bill and e-invoice, that is also possible. Let me show you. Suppose this is the transaction. Let me enter a new transaction. If you want to combine generate, then this option you have to enable generate e-way bill with e-invoice. This option you have to enable and save the transaction and generate e-invoice and e-way bill combined. See here both e-way bill and e-invoice generated. Let me show you the window. This is the last transaction and see e-way bill and e-invoice generated combinedly. Next, suppose you want to cancel e-way bill and e-invoice directly from the busy software. So you have to open the voucher. After that, press Alt plus X. X for Xmas. This is a shortcut key for cancellation. If you want to cancel e-way bill and e-invoice of the transaction, Alt plus X. Press this. After that, do you want to print? Do you want to cancel this transaction? Yes. Wrong. Quantity. Specify the reason. And after specifying the reason, this window appears. Cancel e-way bill and e-invoice. Enable this option and select the reason, remark, and see your transaction is cancelled. So through these steps, you can directly cancel the transaction, directly cancel the e-way bill and e-invoice. See, this is cancelled. So these are the steps you have to follow for generation e-way bill and e-invoice in bulk, in single also, how to cancel. Last is audit report. So let me show you the audit report also. Let me open Busy again. Let me create some transactions. Apply tax, save the transactions. See, if you have not generated e-invoice and e-way bill, but transaction is eligible for e-invoice and e-way bill. So we have audit report. Let me show you. So go to GST miscellaneous utility, e-way bill and e-invoice. See, this is the audit report. E-way bill audit report and e-invoice audit report. Let me show you. Open this report and see transaction will show you these are the pending transaction for e-way bill and these transactions are eligible for e-way bill but you not generated. So in the audit report you can see the pending e-way bill and the pending e-invoice. This is e-invoice audit report. See, this transaction is eligible for e-invoice but you have not generated e-invoice. So this is the audit report. You can see. For further assistance, call to our help desk team. So our help desk is available 24 into 7. Content details you can see on my screen. 5x82 you can dial if you are facing any problem to generate e-invoice and e-way bill in Busy. So you can contact us and 5x82 you can dial and the support email ID is support@busy.in. So thank you everyone. I hope you have understood this feature and benefits and process how to generate e-way bill and e-invoice from Busy software. So if you are using Busy accounting software, you can simply easily generate e-way bill and e-invoice. Very simple with powerful configurations. Thank you once again.